Yeah, good morning. Good morning, all. Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Okay, guys. So let's start the session. So in the last class, we are discussing about the Power BI and data analytics using the Power BI. So let us continue with the same, right? And so in today's class, just as a small recap, whatever we have done in the previous class, that is data visualization using the Power BI. So within the data visualization of the Power BI, okay, within the data visualization of using Power BI. So first we have completed initially few plots. What are the plots are available? We have discussed about the plots, all types of plots. And from there we have discussed about the tables and matrices. Okay, matrix. And from there we have discussed about the cards, filters, and along with that slicers. Okay, so these are the things which we have covered till now within the Power BI, various types of plots and tables and matrices and all these things. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss the next concept. Now before moving on to the next concept of the Power BI, here in the today's class, we are going to discuss the data analytics using the Power BI or what are the project we are going to do now. For this particular project, as earlier, what are the hackathon you have done? So few students are asking the common questions. When yesterday when I went to the lab or and some of the students who have sent me the mails, right? In that most commonly repeated questions, sir. One is, sir, could you discuss about the hackathon project in the class? That is the first question. Second one is in terms of what are the Power BI project we are going to do now in the real life, how we are going to present. These are the two different questions. Most of the students has commonly asked it for me, right? So in the today's class, what we are going to do is generally what is data analytics means and what are the hackathon I have shared to you. Okay. So in the hackathon, what are the details? What is the analysis you have to do? General analysis, what you have to do. Not only for hackathon, any data analysis project, how we have to do, how we have to approach to the data analysis project. Okay. So coming to the data analytics project. So first you should understand the project requirement. And yesterday, one of the student has even asked me the question that is there any kind of opportunity within the companies, right? Particularly in my company or in other companies, is there any opportunity as a data scientist, data analyst, if you want to apply, how we have to approach? So that things we are going to discuss in the today's class. That there is a high correlation with the today's class versus that same thing. So just first one is business problem understanding. As I've told you earlier for multiple times, for any project, the first step is going to be to understand the project requirements. What exactly the project requirements is. Okay. And you are going to write you are going to see the project requirements as per the client. And mostly the data analytics project, the project requirement would be descriptive analytics, means describing the past data. Always you are going to describe the past data. And in the interview, if they ask you the question, what exactly the role of data analyst also, the answer is same. Okay. Describing the past data, describing the past, what are the data was given to us, describing the past or historical data. And the another word of this one is describing the historical data. And from that, what are the observations we have made? Okay. And describing the past or historical data in order to improve the business. In order to improve business. Okay. If they ask you the question of what is the particularly, if they ask you the question of what is the role of data analyst, means this is the role. Descriptive analytics meaning only this one, describing the past. What are the data I have given to you? You have to describe that through various plots. Okay. Through various plots or tables or whatever it is. Describe complete data. Okay, that is the requirement of the business problem. Whether it is a hackathon, whether it is using the Python, or later we are going to do using the Tableau, whatever it is. Finally, descriptive analytics means just describing the past data or historical data. And from there, our step 2 consists of collect the data and load the data. You are going to collect the data and you are going to load the data, collect and load the data. As for multiple times, you have written the same thing. Okay, collect and load the data. And after collecting and loading the data, you have to do the data exploration. What is meant by data exploration means understanding each and every column. If it is numerical data, we have to understand what is the mean value, minimum value, maximum value, like this for continuous variable. For discrete variable, we have to observe the how many categories are there. These are the two things we have to observe. Okay, majorly continuous and discrete. Within the discrete, again subcategories discrete count and discrete categorical, but majorly we are having the continuous and discrete variable. So we have to identify which are continuous variables, which are discrete variables, and for continuous variables we have to apply a different logic. For discrete variables we have to apply a different logic, and first we have to understand the given data. If it is a continuous variable, we have to check what are the things, minimum, maximum, all these things, like describe function one, compulsory. Second one is skewness, followed by histograms and box plot. These are the major things which we have to do in the data exploration. And once this is completed, we are moving on to the data pre-processing. Within the data pre-processing, we are going to do the two things majorly. As a data analyst, we will do the two things. One is called as data cleaning, and in this data cleaning, along with this data cleaning, dimension reduction. These are the majorly two things which we are going to do. And if required, we are going to create a new columns that is called as future engineering. Future engineering means adding a new columns. For example, buying price will be given. Okay, selling price will be given. Create a new column. What is the new column is called as either profit or loss. Creating a new column is called as future engineering. Existing columns, removing them and reducing them is called as dimension reduction. Dimension reduction is also called as variable selection. You are going to select whichever the variables you are interested, which variables are not interested, and you are going to drop them. Drop the unimportant variables. And finally, coming to the point of fourth one is called as analysis. Here only the major point is there. Okay, many people are asking the question here itself. Here the point. Sir, what is analysis? And as you told that analysis means applying the logical questions on that. Okay, already I have told you what is data analysis means applying various logical questions. What are the logical questions you are having? You are applying the various questions or your ideas, questions or ideas, and observing the data. This is the one which I have told you. Now the point is, multiple students are commonly asking the question, so various questions we are going to apply, but what are the questions we have applied, whether it is a correct or wrong? This is a common question. Now that point we are going to discuss now clearly. Now here, what are the logical questions or ideas you are going to apply? Multiple things will be there. Now, multiple questions can be formed. First, let us try to form some questions. Okay. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain for your hackathon only. Generally, what are the assignment I have given? Generally, in my case, generally, what are the assignment I have given? Assignment questions I will not discuss in the class. Okay, those questions I will not discuss in the class, and particularly how to do the answers I will not discuss generally. Why? What is the reason behind that is, since I have given this data set to you, you will ask some questions. For example, if I give another data set, again questions. If I give another data set, again questions. Means the more number of data sets I have forwarded to you, again and again questions means when you will understand completely. Okay, this one you are having the doubts, I'll solve them. Okay, tomorrow again you will get the one more data set means then again doubts. Here, what are the concepts we are going to learn? It should be generalized. It should be applicable for all the data sets. It should not be applicable only for a particular data set. It should be applied on the general data sets. See, 80% you have done, 20% you are having the doubts, miss, that is not a wrong. Even in the company also, that is not a wrong. But if you are asking 20, you are doing 20% and you are asking 80%, miss, that is a problem. You know now how much you are doing on your own, how much you are asking, you know, right? So just based on that, you only conclude, right? Now, coming to this particular hackathon project, now data analysis I'm going to explain. At the same time, how to formulate the questions and what are the questions you already formulated, whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, all these things we are going to discuss. And most probably your hackathon solutions, I mean, solution I'm going to upload today, but whatever your marks are there now, whoever has shared the details to the mail, you are going to receive by end of the day, today or tomorrow. By tomorrow maximum you will receive the marks. Okay, maximum, that is the maximum deadline which I am going to give. So my team is going to correct your answers and they are going to share you the details by maximum tomorrow end, right? Now, coming back, so here, what are the we are having? This is the data set which was shared to you in the hackathon, and in this data set we are having the exam score. Now, before moving on to the data set, I'll not generally move on to the data set. If any student comes to me and he asks me a question, sir, in whether this column has to be removed or whether this one is correct or wrong, means first question I'll ask, oh, tell me what is a business problem. Without telling the business problem, if you tell me something else, I don't understand. Since you already know the business problem and you have done the data exploration and you are in the third stage and fourth stage, you already know about that project, means I also should know. This project means I have shared, so obviously I will know. Other data sets, any data set, whenever you discuss with others, first discuss the business problem. Tell the business problem, and for this business problem, whatever the approach I am doing is correct approach or wrong. Without giving the business problem, don't ask the question, because your data cleaning, selecting of the variable, and remaining other parameters, everything will be decided based on the business problem only, right? Now, coming to this business problem, okay. So what is the business problem they have given is, this data set provides a overview of various factors affecting the students' performance in the exams, like study habits, assignments, I mean attendance, parental involvement, and other influencing parameters. This is the business problem. Means here we have to see the students' performance, how it is getting impacted based on the other parameters on the past data. Earlier, some students has performed very high and some students has not performed not well, and how these factors are impacting for that. That is the business problem was given to us. Now, and based on this business problem, here they have shared one data set, and whatever they are asking to analyze the key factors that influence the students' performance and makes the predictive model with to identify the students who are risk of underperforming. Your findings will help the school district to take the proactive measures to improve the students' success. Means maybe this is a government related project. In the government schools, that like a government, we are having district educational officers or some kind of. These people generally what they'll do, how to perform the students' performance in the government schools. They'll think, now, for example, if you have collected the data and we have shared the data, not only in the government schools, even in the private schools also, they will analyze the data and they'll come to with that fit to. So in order to improve the student success ratio, right? Now here we are majorly focusing on what parameter is, your findings will help the school district, okay, that take proactive measures to improve the student success. Student success means exam performance in terms of. So student success only in terms of studies. Students performance other than success is not only in the studies. He might be success in the sports also or something. But that data was not given to us, right, to analyze. So here what is the data was given is performance only given. Performance means students performance in terms of exam score. So we have to analyze based on the exam score. So in the interview, they'll ask all these type of questions. For data analyst, they will give the scenario. And for this scenario, what you are going to do. In this scenario, what you will do. That is the questions would be there. Now, coming to back, for this particular business problem, what are the business problem was shared to us. Now, here I'm having the data set and you are going to do the data cleaning and everything. Now, here commonly few questions are asked. One is, such study hours are there, whether the study hours is into is there now, whether it comes under continuous or whether it is comes under count variable. This is the starting question. Obviously, you are going to observe the total number of unique values. What is the starting value? What is the ending value? And after that, when interval is making sense, individual value is making sense, I will apply. First, what I will do for this particular column, what are the column I am having? First, I will observe the minimum value. What is the minimum value and maximum value? How you will observe that? Already I will apply the describe function in the data exploration. Values are already available now. Newly, I no need to apply separately. In the data exploration stage only, it is already applied describe function. Minimum value is there, maximum value is there. Now, I'm going to apply the unique values. How many unique values? For that particular column, I will apply the unique values. Whether it is a continuous or whether it is a count variable also, 3 of them I will apply. After applying the unique values, now I will get the output as how many unique values are there, each unique value. Now I will start thinking. For example, number of students, how many students studied 6 hours, 7 hours, exactly 7 hours, exactly 8 hours, exactly 9 hours, exactly 10 hours. It is making a sense, or interval it is making a sense. I will start observing. And in my brain, if it is interval is making sense according to me, from my perspective, if it is making interval as a sense, I will consider as a continuous variable, because I am going to present in front of others that these many students are learning from this to this. For example, more number of students are there who are studying from 5 to 10 hours. I want to highlight that one. Then I'm going to show using the histogram that one. In from my perspective, if I feel individual value, or from my perspective, if I'm feeling the interval, which one I'm feeling, according to that, I'm going to select. Right? So here, based on the variable, what are the variable was given, if it is, though it is int or so, blindly I will not consider that. Now here, if I observe some of the hours, it is not per day. It is not per day overall, because per day 29 hours will not be there. The maximum value. Sir, how you know that 29 is this? Again, not from the data set I'm saying. Minimum value, maximum value I will do now. Data exploration I will do now. During the data exploration, I'll understand. This is not per day. This is overall, they are studying per hour, hours they have studied. Okay, it is whether they have given per week or anything. Yes, if they have given me, still more clear. Okay, so just we are going to observe here clearly number of hours spent studying per week. This is called as nomenclature. Whatever they have given this one, every column description. This is called as nomenclature. So generally they will provide this kind of nomenclature, means 100% they will provide. Who will provide, sir? Whoever has shared you the project, that person only has to provide. Whoever has shared the data set. Because in the data set, shortcuts will be there. Column names will not be clear. Shortcuts will be there. The person who is uploading the data set, he only has to provide this nomenclature also. Okay, we don't know that one. 100% they have to give. In the short, if they write shortcuts, who knows? Okay. For example, if I write a shortcut called as SRK, first time you are learning, you are going to see the SRK word. You know that SRK means full form is Shriram Krishna or Shah Rukh Khan. How you can understand? Right? So we don't know now. So obviously they only have to give. The first time, none of the person knows shortcuts. So obviously, if it is a standard one, that is okay. For example, temperature, T is there. TEMP. TEMP means it is a temperature that everyone knows. That is standard notations. They are standard. This is not a standard one. Column names are not standard one. 100% they will give. Nomenclature they have to give. Okay. Now what are they have given to us? From this, we are going to understand. Now coming to the actual point of analysis. What is meant by analysis and how we have to do the data analytics project. Now, for my business problem, what is a business problem? Here, for this data set, what is the business problem is, here, overview of various parameters affecting, this point is enough from here to here. This is the main point. Overview of affecting the students' performance in the exams. With this, what they are going to do, once my work was completed, with that what they are going to do means, your findings means, based on my findings, they are going to identify the something what we can improve. For example, I have told that more number of people who are studying more number of hours, they are getting the more performance. For example, this is the finding I have told you, one of the point. Then what they are going to do means, they are going to add the more number of study hours. If number of hours of study is dependent on that one means, they are going to add one more hour study hours, they'll add. In our school days, we used to go to the tuitions now. Why? Our parents used to believe that the more amount of time we study, the more the marks we get. They used to believe that one. And blindly they used to send to the tuitions. That is their past data, what they have observed. So same way, here we are going to have in terms of this number of hours studied. Now, every column, total how many columns are there? 20, 23, 26, 20, 20, round figure 20. Okay, done. 20 columns are there now. Now 20 out of 20 columns, exam score, how it is affecting, right? Now remaining how many columns are there? 19 columns. Now each column to the exam score. That is the first question. Not first question, 19 questions. First question is study hours versus exam score. Attendance versus exam score. Parental involvement versus exam score. Access to resources versus exam score. If it is two continuous variables, group by. If it is categorical versus continuous means group by, and two categorical means cross tab. You are going to apply this one and you are going to observe what is the relation, and you are going to make a plots if required, scatter plots. For example, attendance is there, attendance versus marks. You are going to apply the scatter plot if required. As the attendance increases, marks are increasing or decreasing, right? Now parental involvement versus that one, right? And access to the resource, extracurricular activities, number of sleep hours versus. So every column versus exam score. So 19 columns versus exam score. So how many questions are created? 19 questions. How many observations? 19 observations. In that, some of them will be important, some of them will not be important. I don't know. If it is not important, delete them. If it is important, write them. Okay, 19 questions are completed first. Everyone is clear with this? For not only for this project, any project I am explaining. Generalized project I am explaining. Right? Next, you are going to have the two columns. Now individual column wise you have checked now. Now according to you, you are having some kind of general knowledge on the studies performance, right? Sir, this one means studies performance, we are having the knowledge. For example, I am not having the knowledge on automobile. Then learn that one using the Google. What would be the car prices? What is generally used car price? And what is the car price performance? Generally car price will be decided on what parameter? For example, after the class, you have to go and purchase one used car. You want to purchase. You are having the money of 10 lakhs budget with you. And you have to go and purchase the one used car. What you will do? Take that 10,000 cash in the bag and you will go to the shopper. First, you'll understand what is meant by with respect to what are the parameters will be involved, right? Otherwise, what happens? If you don't know anything about the used car, then what happens? Generally, we'll take some persons who is already having the experience on used cars. Why will take? Because he is having the past data in the brain and he has already analyzed and he knows which one is good, which one is bad. For example, that person is not there. Then we are only available. Then what we have to do? We have to do the some amount of research, right? Generally, used car depends. What is the price of the used car will be dependent on what parameters? Means how many years of old and along with how many kilometers it has driven. right? And what is the color of the car, company, model, like this. It depends on the various parameters now. Then you have to do the research, right? That comes under which category? For example, I have asked you to work on the user car. You are doing the research on that. Then it comes under which stage of this data analytics project? Business problem understanding. It comes under business problem understanding because the end user is asking user car price. User car only what we don't know. And how this price will be impacted, we don't know means obviously we have to check first that. Okay, is the point is clear? Now after that, from understanding the user car price or sorry business problem or anything, from there we are going to understand each and every step. Now you are going to combine two columns. Now in the chat box, as one of the student is asking the question, sir, what happens after we analyze, represent the data, how company's profit increase and who performs act after it in company? This is the question by one of the student in the online, and he is Sunil Yadav. He is asking the question. What is the question? Just let me copy this question and close the chat box. Okay. What happens after we analyze means we are going to represent the data and how company profit increase. This is the question number 2. And who performs act after it in company. Okay. First, let's start. Who performance act in the company? We'll start with this question. Okay. Who will perform this act in the company means not in the company. If we are going to present to the client. Who has given the project to? Who is going to pay the money to you? For what purpose he is going to pay the money for you? That person is going to perform the act. Means he is going to take the next step. For example, in this particular example, we are having students performance data is there. And here in the business problem, they told that your findings will help the school district to take the measures. Now, who has shared you the project? Who asked you to do this project? Who is the person? That person should be there now. Either college director, okay, I mean school director, or in terms of district educational officer, or any person, some persons. The person who has given you the project, he is called as client. And he is going to perform that one. Okay, this is the first one. Now, okay, for the first question, this is the answer. Client will perform the act, not in the company. Our analysis, whatever we are going to do now, our analysis we are going to present. After presentation, from that presentation, whatever he has observed, from that he is going to do the further things. Is the point is clear? Now, first you are going to analyze, and after analyzing, basically this is the order of the question. What are the order he has asked? That is the right order. Okay. What happens after we analyze means once we analyze, our observations will be there, right? Our observations we are going to share by our report. Means what are the observations, notes we have written na? Note every time we'll write, right? What are the observations? That everything will keep in the Word document along with the whatever the plots or tables are applicable, everything we are going to keep there. Now this is a report we are going to keep. Along with the report, we are going to add the PPT or Power BI. In the Power BI or PPT, first we'll explain in the class how I am explaining. After my explanation, how I am sharing my notes to you. In the same way, after PPT, we are going to share a detailed report as a Word document, I mean PDF document. We are going to share the detailed report as a PDF document in which all our observations will be included. Our important observations will be included. In the presentation, shortcuts will be there, but in the detailed report, step by step, everything will be available, clearly available. Okay. Now, in the Power BI, for example, I'm showing in the Power BI, I'm going to explain from my point of view, what are the observations I have made. I'm going to show everything. So as for example, here I'm having this one. Okay. This one only is whatever the parental involvement versus exam score. This is important. What I'm going to do means this parental involvement I'll keep in the slicer. In the slicer I'll keep, and there I'll select the low, and I'll show that average students performance. What is the average students performance when the parental involvement is low? When the parental involvement is high, how the students performance is there? In the card, I'll keep the average students performance. In the slicer, I'll keep the parental involvement. If I feel this is important observation. For not everything now, 19 questions I already formulated. In that 19 questions, every question will not be important, right? Out of which one or two are be important, or maybe 5 or 6, or what are the number? Those things I'll bring. And as I change in the slicer, everything, the values will change. And I'm going to explain. For example, if I have explained that in my PPT or Power BI, assume you are the educational officer. In front of you, I'm showing that as the parent involvement is very high during the school days, the student's performance is very high. This is the one which I have highlighted for you. When the student's parental involvement is low, the average performance is 45. Average. I'm not saying for individual student. Average is 45. When the parental involvement is high, the student's performance is 65 or 70. I have shown you like this. Okay. In the Power BI presentation, I have shown you. And you have taken a note. Now, after that, what you are going to do? You also have written in the note, okay, parental involvement should be very high. Then what you are going to do? You are going to conduct some kind of counselings, some meetings, parental meetings. In the parental meetings, whatever you have observed, you are going to explain to the parents. Earlier in the previously, we have seen some students parental involvement was not there, their performance is not good. Based on our from the parents, what type of parents you are going to have, which area parents are there, I mean in the metro cities or educational parents are there, means we are going to explain with analysis. For example, if it is some kind of rural areas or villages, there if you explain the we have done the analysis or this one that one also, they'll not understand. For them we have to explain simply in a simple words that your students performance completely depends on your involvement. The more you involve means you have to ask them whether they are doing the work every day or not. Okay, in the company also, if your team lead or your manager involvement is there, the workers whoever are working in that, they are going to do the work. For example, they are not involving, okay Amma, you only continue, okay means then what happens? Half of the time productivity will be less. They have to be more productivity means we have to check every time. Involvement should be there. Then due to that involvement, what are the work, whoever the working people are there, they'll think that, okay, someone is going to check us. Today, by end of the day, what are the report? If you are going to share. Yesterday's work we can't share today now. Because yesterday's work, yesterday already we have shared. Today's work, again we are going to share means exactly they'll understand, okay, today's work, this much we have done. And if the work is not that much, okay, someone is going to check our work and they are going to scold on this or something they'll have. Attention will be there. It's okay, you only do miss. After 2 or 3 days also, 4 days back, what are the work they have done? They'll say that today only I have done this work. And they'll do the in-between time pass. More amount of time they'll spend on the Instagram or YouTube. Right? Simple. So involvement should be more. Example purpose. So in the same way, here also the same. What are the column you are observing? For that, you have to create a story. You have to explain properly. See, this one is right answer or not also, I don't know. Important observation also, I don't know. But if I feel this is an important observation, how am I explaining? This is called as storytelling. This point is called as storytelling. Now, when I'm explaining the story, slightly you might get into the sleep as of now. Why? Because continuation I'm speaking and I'm keeping only one Excel sheet in front of you. Instead of that, if I keep the Power BI and in the slicer, if I click on that, suddenly the values and the plots will change. Then something is changing continuation in front of you means you'll see. Only one screen is there like that, and I'm speaking continuation means slightly will in the starting interest will be there. Slowly it will be bored, and after that sleep will come. Even in the when we are doing the presentation in the company also. So obviously we have to engage means we have to show different values. When compared to yesterday what are the we have discussed in the class in the Power BI. Continuationally we are changing some values, and that one, this one, right, this, right? The continuation engagement is there means interest will come. Right? Now, like this, we are going to include the things. Okay. So what happens after we analyze means we are going to observe what are the important observations we are going to present, and who performs the act in the company, or sorry, how companies will improve the profit means it is not only every time profit. It is not only every time profit. So it might be in terms of in this example, for example, what are the hackathon was given in this instead of writing how company profit increases, instead of this question we have to ask how company's performance increases. Company performance, that performance might be in profit, the performance might be, for example, employee details are there, employee satisfaction, HR analytics, based on that. Okay, so how the company's performance or how the business improves. Okay, companies or performance or how the business improves. So as I've told you here, describing the past data in order to improve the business, not I told you profit. Everything will not be in terms of profit only. Finally, business, right? How we are going to, how the company's business will be improved based on this means, for example, here I have observed the observations, and if I give it to the educational officer, what they are going to do according to that, in order to make the students more performance, whatever is required, according to that they will select. For example, motivation level is required. Based on the motivation level and students performance is high, then what happens, students then automatically they are going to conduct some motivational classes in between, in a year at least once, sorry, monthly once or 2 months once, they are going to bring the some motivator, and they are going to create the motivational classes if this one is related to that, or internet access is required, then what they are going to do, in every school they are going to add the Wi-Fi mandatory, and that too with restricted websites like Facebook, Instagram, or some other websites. They'll restrict them. They'll keep a restriction on that, and they'll give the Wi-Fi, right? And for example, tutoring sessions are required. This is impacting more. Then what they are going to do according to this observation? If this is more means what they'll do? They'll add in terms of doubt clearance sessions more. Weekly once they'll add the doubt clearance sessions. And for example, family income is related to this one, then from educational officer is not going to do anything. He can't do anything from that. Or he may ask, for example, family income is low and performance is low means why? Because they are unable to send the students for the additional tutoring classes or additional in terms of tuitions or something. So they are going to take from the government support. When the family income is low, and this one means for low income people, they may add the government support more. Teacher quality, if this is approved, I mean, if this is the important observation, then they are going to improve the teacher quality. Okay, the intake of the teachers. So based on that, what observations are there? Based on that, they are going to take the actions accordingly. Sunil, is your question is clear? And others? Okay. Now, sir, in the hackathon project, we use group by many times. The difference between the categories are very close. I mean, suppose parental involvement wise, exam score means if they are very close, it is not considered as important observation. For example, parental involvement is high, low also, exam average score is same. If the parental involvement medium also, average score is same. And with the parental involvement high also, average score is same, means marks are not getting impacted with the parental involvement. Then parental involvement is not a big criteria. Then these educational officers no need to have meetings. If they have the meetings also, they no need to say parental involvement is good or not, because there is no much difference now. Which area is having more difference, that particular area they'll focus. Now individual column versus you have observed with the exam score. Now you combine the two columns or three columns and apply the same logic. With the exam score is mandatory. In every cell, exam score is mandatory. With the exam score, apart from the exam score, which two additional columns or one column you are going to add, that is your choice. Two columns or three columns or overall this one or that one, this one, this one. Sir, filtering, sir. For example, parental income is low, but family income is low, but teacher quality, their involvement is high. By combining this one versus this one and this one, because these two comes under family related. So just by combining these two along with the exam score, is there any relation? Now you are going to add the two columns, combination of 2 followed by combination of 3 like that, every combination with the exam score. Sir, like that so many combinations will come. No sir, these 20 columns are there, means multiple combinations will come, sir. Obviously minimum to minimum 200 to 300 questions will come. 200 to 300 easily we can formulate. Sir, but you have given the project for one day only na. Hackathon is for one day na. You are only saying 200 to 300 questions na. Do you think that a human can do? In the given time, what are the maximum we can do? I ask it to you do. If a maximum 9 hours of work, okay, 9 out of 9 hours, 1 hour is lunch break. 8 hours I ask it to be in the Naresh IT in the lab for doing the hackathon. Within that, how much you can do, you are going to submit that one. In the company also same thing will happen. Otherwise, never ending process na. Always we'll start thinking only. For example, this project if you give for 1 year also we can do. One day, one idea will come. With one idea, one question will formulated means sufficient for that day. No, na. Is the point is clear? So like that you are going to formulate the questions. While formulating every question, how it is impacted with the exam score only important. And in that, which one is important, that one you have to highlight and you have to explain in the PPT. In the PPT or in the presentation. Then based on that, others are going to take the decisions and they are going to improve their performance. Is that clear? This is for any data analytics project, whether you do it the Python, whether it's the Power BI or with the Tableau or anything. This is common. Right? Now, here, why I explain this today in this class means the point to be noted is whatever we have discussed earlier in the Power BI using the plots, tables and matrices. Okay. First, based on this, you have to complete one task or one project. Because once you understand this one only, you'll understand the advanced called as DAX functions. So whether you have understood this one or not, I have to test you. So today, first I'll share you the one data set and please create one dashboard using only these three without using the functions. Now, if this is very clear for you, then tomorrow, whatever we are going to discuss the functions, it will be clear. Okay. Instead of focusing on the next one, this one is more important. What are the various plots are involved, tables and matrices are involved. Okay. And so I'm going to share it to you clearly. Now, Soumya, your question is clear? Sunil, Soumya, others, still anyone has any questions? Based on your observations. Now, as some of now I'm going to share you one Power BI example, Power BI dashboard and one task, and try to complete the task by using all these things and complete the data analysis and your presentation also using without tomorrow's class up to here. And I want your Power BI, and I want in terms of presentation also. I'm going to have the presentation. Okay. Online students, you have to share your screen and you have to present. Randomly, I'm going to ask one student. Similarly, from offline student also, I'm going to ask randomly one person. Okay. Everyone, you have to bring your Power BI dashboard. Okay. And you have to share it to me in the mail. And once I download your Power BI files in my laptop, the Power BI files will be available. In my laptop only, I'm going to open your Power BI file directly in my laptop, and you can start doing the presentation in front of others. How you are going to present? That is more important. See, while presenting, again, you'll have the common point. Common question is, up to here you'll analyze. This is up to you. After this final step, or what is the fifth step and important step is presentation. This is for others. This is for others. Up to this is for us, for our understanding. This is for others. Now, in the presentation, I'm going to ask you to present. What are the things you have done? You have to present in front of others. I'm going to ask the student to present. Now, which of the student is interested to do the presentation? Only those students share me the Power BI dashboard. Other students, no need to share. You do the work. But if you want to share it to me, miss, make sure that you are ready for the presentation. Now, which of the students are ready for the presentation? Only those students will have the very high chance of getting the job in the companies. Because presentation, what is the relation between the presentation versus getting a job in the company? Miss, very simple point. Presentation, when you do the presentation, you are showing to others. When you show to others, automatically we will have the tension, because when we are showing to others, multiple people are going to observe that one. Multiple people will find out the mistakes, and for multiple people questions will be there, and you have to think all these things in your mind and you have to present. Now they are going to ask you the questions. When they ask you the questions, you are going to understand the more subject. When you ask the questions only, you will get into that more subject. Others will ask the questions. Then you'll get the idea why we have not included this one. Try to include the maximum number of questions. Now, here we can conduct one type of quiz, or not quiz, some kind of competition or something like this. What is that means? Whoever the person is presenting, other students will be there now. Other students who are listening. If they ask one question, they'll get the 5 marks. Whoever the student is asking the question, that particular student will get the 5 marks. Assume. If you ask 100 questions, you will get 500 marks. The more the number of questions you ask, you will get the marks. Okay, let us make like this. And who will ask the more questions? Let us see. Okay, simple point. Some 5 marks or 1 mark or whatever it is. Which student is asking more number of questions? Let us observe. Now, if I say like this, automatically the person who is presenting now, he will get the tension now. Now, for that tension, what he will do? He will make more things added. For me also in the company, same thing now. When I do the presentation in front of others, my feeling also same. The person, after listening what questions he will ask, I will only start thinking, okay, if I show this one, someone is showing to me like this, what questions I will generally get, and whether those things are involved, have kept or not, I'm going to observe like this, right? So now the student who is presenting, okay, and he has to involve maximum things. Okay, he has to add the maximum amount of things in that, and he has to do the presentation. It is cleaned means clean. If it is unclean means you have to do the cleaning. Data set I'll share. If it is clean means your work is easy. If it is unclean means do the cleaning and do that work. Okay. So what are I'm going to share? Try to complete when? By today. By today evening it has to be completed. That is the deadline. by end of today, anytime. You can complete and you can share it to me, the dashboard. Power BI file I have to receive, not the image. Power BI file I have to receive and I'm going to upload now itself. Otherwise, again, it will be late. But just give me 1 minute of time. I'll upload now itself. Yeah, other students who are having the questions, you can please ask what are the questions you are having in meanwhile. Yeah, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I have added the business problem along with the data set. You can open the in your drive. There is a folder called as topic wise task, and within the topic wise task, it is available. Just open your drive. Okay. Just open your drive, and in that drive, you are having this one. And till now, whatever we have discussed within that only you have to do. Okay, using those you can do that too only Power BI. Okay, your analysis and presentation both has to be done using Power BI only. Data cleaning you can do in the Python, that is not a problem. But analysis, complete analysis you have to do only in the Power BI. How to? How? DF2 Excel చెప్పంగా. Okay, done. 1 minute. So after cleaning the data in the Python, clean data, what are the clean data file is there now? The clean data. Okay. So once you have completed data cleaning using the Python, the clean data will be there, right? The clean data you are going to store as a DF. Assume this is a DF, clean data, your clean data. Now this clean data, DF2 underscore Excel, Excel or CSV, choice is yours. What are the name you want? Okay. And in the clean data of Excel, you are going to write here cleaned underscore data dot xlx, right? This is the file name. It is going to save as a clean data. This is the file name. Choice is yours. You can write as per your choice. Okay. What are the clean data is there to Excel, and with index is equal to false. If you don't write index is equal to false means it will add the index number also. So just write index is equal to false and you are going to get the clean file, cleaned Excel file. And once you receive the cleaned Excel file, just you can load in the Power BI and do the complete analysis. Okay, done. If you are having any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. That is the end of the session for today. Okay, in the tomorrow's class, we are going to do the data modeling. Okay, now tomorrow I'm going to explain data modeling. For continuous variable, we use describe to get the max, mean, minimum, standard deviation, which is better to use further condition analysis. I mean, you are going to apply all the descriptive statistics measures. How many are there? Everything. How many descriptive statistics measures are there? All the descriptive statistics measures has to be completed on the continuous variable, related to continuous variable. Now, in tomorrow's class, we are going to discuss here from the table. This is called as data modeling. Data modeling means when you are having the multiple tables, connections between the tables. It is similar kind of schema within the SQL. Okay, what are the database schema we are having and how we are going to connect the database schema in the same way. Once we connect the database schema, then in the transform, within the transform, here we can do the merging. Okay, here merge queries, merge append queries are there. Na? Once you click on them, let me load any data set so that I can explain clearly. But in detail, we are going to discuss in the tomorrow's class. In meanwhile, complete the Power BI. What are the tasks I have shared to you? Today it has to be completed. Okay, if that is clear, miss, 100%. Furtherly, everything will be clear. And day after tomorrow, what are the project we are going to do now? That will be 100% very clear. Right? Now, so here, once we load the data, what are the data we are having? Okay, this is our data. And this is the data modeling. And only one table is there now. So here you are going to see only one table. For example, multiple tables are there. Here, multiple tables will be displayed. Right? And here, if you click on the transform data, transform is where you are going to create the columns or you are going to delete the columns, something. If you want to remove any column, means you are going to remove the columns. If you want to add the columns, means you are going to add. That is, entire data transformations will be done here. And if you click on the merge queries, here you'll get the two tables, table 1, table 2, like this. And you can apply the left join, right join, inner join, like this. Various types of joins you can do. When you are having the common columns, we are going to apply the merge. Or when we want to do the append means in terms of when two data frames has to be, two tables has to be combined. 2 or 3 tables you want to combine in the order one by one. For example, one table consists of January month. One table consists of February month. Another date, another will be consisting of another one. Like that, you are having the multiple. Then what you are going to do is you are going to add the append, means one by one, bottom by one, like that. So like that, you are going to add. So you are going to add here multiple tables and you are going to append 2 tables or more than 2 tables. Even you can add. How you are going to, you have the pd.concat function and you are going to append pd.concat df1, df2, df3, like this, same way. Is the point is clear, everyone? That's it. If you are having any questions, you can ask. What are the questions you are having? If no questions, you can leave. That's it. If no questions, you can leave. And you can submit your answers by end of the day. Whoever wants to do the presentation by end of the day, you have to share it to me. When the presentation will be there, I will tell you. But answer should be shared today. Yeah, you can leave. If no questions, you can leave. Yeah, Sunil is asking the question, sir, our responsibility is to analyze and present it. Okay. What if client asks different questions which are not analyzed by us? Before moving to the client, you will present to others, right? You are not going to directly present to the client now. Before to that, you are going to present to others. There itself, they'll ask the questions. Sunil. Chetan. Uh, Chetan, is your question is clear? Soumya, you have to share me the Power BI file. Exactly. Chetan, your question is clear?